All right, we are about 3 days away from leaving to live in the car for a whole month, but we have one main thing that we need to change. If we leave this the way it is, we would have to put this in the front seat every single night, which I do not particularly want to have to do. Also, the way that it currently is, you can't really open it all that much. So, the plan here is to modify this so that this will sit down into here, and then we won't have to put that in the front seat every single night. So let's get started on that. It's gonna take a little while to complete. I'm gonna have to cut this up and change it around and modify it quite a bit. So this is going to end up being a little bit more complicated than I thought. I thought that I could just lower the box here, cut this down, go here, and get some more space here and go across. But if I do that, then I would need all the way to here, because this is how wide it is, which then would be cutting into the center console. And obviously I can't put a box through the center console. So I'm gonna have to bring it all the way out to here. I'm gonna have to cut this corner out a little bit more than I thought. Should still be able to work, but it's gonna be more difficult. So let's see what we can figure out here with this. So this probably isn't gonna be the most accurate, however, that's what we need to get level with. So when we make a board level with that, the top would have to be at about 22.5 inches. So minus 15, that gives us about 7.5. So we need legs holding this to be about 7.5 inches. Minus the depth of whatever's going underneath to hold it, which this should be 3/4 inch ply. So we need 6 3/4 inches for the legs to hold up the platform. I remeasured off camera and it looks like the measurement we need is going to be 6.5. here is the space we are working with now. So we have this cut out for the fridge. Let's see if it fits in there. I sure hope it fits. I took those legs I cut earlier and just put a platform on it just to see if it will sit in this space nicely. It does fit, not super ideal because, well, you have to move the seat every time to flip it up. But if you go like that, then you have access to the fridge. Not a big deal to have to move that. Not super convenient for sure, but we don't have a ton of extra space here to play with to cut it any further. So I think we might just go with that. We're just gonna have to move that seat to open this. Again, not a super big deal. Not amazingly convenient, but not the worst thing either. My phone died in the middle of doing that, so I didn't film all of it, but it is all set up now. The fridge goes in here. The mattress will just sit on top of the fridge. And once the mattress is on here, you won't even notice the difference. So we are all set up here. This, same as it was before, just flips back. And then to get into here, flip it back again. This used to have a side piece, but it was kind of a pain to flip this up every time that you needed something. So I put this support piece here. It kind of broke, but it'll be good enough. So that you can slide things in and out through here. So like we can put our clothes bag here and just grab it out, get what we need, shove it back in, instead of having to move the mattress and flip this up every time. So that'll be great. And then that still has this piece here where you just flip it up at night so that you can flip this over, and then when you're driving it goes back. It will be so nice having this down in the platform so that I do not have to move it every single night. I used to put my fridge up in the front seat every night, and that was just a pain in the butt having to move this around. So having it stationary will be huge. I know I didn't really give you a tour of everything. I'll film a car tour separately, probably during our trip, and show you all of the nuances of my build currently. So be on the lookout for that, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!